Welcome back to Elements of Art in our unit on form. I'm Natasha and I have another art question for you. What are the classifications of form? If you remember back to the classifications we used in the unit on shape, you should know the answer. You'll remember that we discussed the terms organic and geometric. Today we are going to focus on geometric forms. As we learned in the last lesson, a form is a three-dimensional shape. So then, what would be a geometric form? Geometric forms are found in many things that we encounter in our daily lives. For example, a ball or a globe is a perfect example of a sphere. We see cones in the waffle variety when they're created to hold our ice cream. Cans and cups are cylinders, and if you roll a die, you'll see that you have a perfect cube. There are many more examples. In today's lesson, we'll explore the defining characteristics of geometric forms, view artistic applications of common geometric forms, and learn drawing and shading techniques for these forms. Just like how geometric shapes have rules of construction, so do geometric forms. They just have an added layer of dimension. Studying geometric forms in art helps us understand the underlying structures of our man-made world and how things are interconnected, leading to a deeper appreciation of both art and construction. A geometric form is a three-dimensional shape that is defined by mathematical principles. Geometric forms are usually regular and possess distinct characteristics that set them apart from other forms. Similar to geometric shapes, these forms are often labeled as man-made because they must adhere to these specific rules of construction. These special rules allow geometric forms to be easily measured and described using mathematical formulas. Some common geometric forms used in art include spheres, cubes, pyramids, cylinders, and cones. A form is measurable by length, width, and height, and contains volume. In art, geometric forms are often used to create a sense of structure, balance, and order in a composition. Although this course focuses on art, mathematics remains relevant and applicable here. Let's take a moment to briefly review the rules of construction for geometric forms as a quick refresher. You can distinguish different geometric forms by observing their distinctive features. For instance, a cube has 6 square faces, while a cylinder is characterized by its circular base and curved surface. A pyramid typically possesses a square base and triangular faces that converge at a point, while a sphere is perfectly round with no edges or corners. By observing these distinct characteristics, you can easily identify and differentiate between different geometric forms. Let's take a look at a few artworks where we can see geometric form. See if you can identify the various geometric forms present in each. Please take a look at the artworks and complete the table for each in your lesson notes. Each of these demonstrates a heavy use of the element of form, specifically geometric form. We'll return to these shortly and identify some of the visible forms. Portrait of Fra Luca Pacioli and an unknown young man shows a precision and mathematical accuracy in the composition that reflects both the artist's technical skill and his understanding of the significance of geometry in art during the Renaissance period. Can you spot the different geometric forms used in the painting? One form is quite easy to see, and it is large and in a primary focal area. The other hides a bit on the table. Do you see it? That is a dodecahedron, a 12-sided form. And there's more to discover. Look closely at the two figures in the painting. Which of the figures holds a more symmetrical pose? What do you think is the connection between symmetry and geometric forms? Still life with self-portrait was painted in 1628. Before we take a look at the geometric forms used, you need to know that this is a vanitas painting. These were popular in the 16th and 17th centuries, particularly in the Netherlands. Vanitas paintings are still life artworks that symbolically represent the fleeting nature of life and the inevitability of death. Do you see the featured geometric form within this painting? How does the featured form add a dynamic quality to the painting? Do you feel that it adds anything symbolically to the theme of the painting? How does its structure contrast with the other forms you see in the artwork? Do you see the large spherical form mimicked in any other areas of the painting? Perhaps even in the general structure of the skull? In the cube, the title openly tells us that the geometric form that is the focus is the cube. The cube's sharp edges and solid structure, along with its size, stand out against the simple background. This artwork was created during the Surrealism movement. It was a movement in art that focused on imagination and the mysteries of the human mind. What is your interpretation of how the cube's geometric form contributes to the overall mood and meaning of the artwork? Do you see any other geometric forms in the art? How do they work in the art in conjunction with the large cube? Pause the video and take your time filling out the table in the PDF. How do you think geometric forms play a role in the overall composition of an artwork? Can you imagine how combining different geometric forms might evoke various feelings or emotions in a piece of art? Geometric forms hold power within artistic compositions, with their emphasis on measured structures and symmetry. From the harmonious balance of spheres to the stability of cubes and the tension of pyramids and cones, each geometric form brings its unique character to the canvas. Some additional images are provided in the lesson PDF that explore the use of geometric forms in more compositions. Feel free to examine and consider them further after the video. Learning to draw forms requires us to recall and apply information that we've covered in our units on shape and value. Today we're going to cover two different geometric forms, the sphere and the cube. We're going to do so in a step-by-step format. There are pages for you to follow along in your lesson PDF, so go ahead and have your PDF and a pencil ready. First, we'll start with the sphere. Draw a circle. Start by drawing a circle on your paper. This will be the outline of your sphere. This step is already completed for you in the PDF. Determine the light source. Imagine where the light is coming from in your drawing. This will help you know which parts of the sphere should be lighter and which should be darker. You could add a little arrow or sun to help. Shade one side. Identify the side of the sphere that is facing away from the light source. This side will be darker. Use your pencil to shade it lightly. The shading should be darker toward the edge of the circle and lighter toward the center. Shade in the shape of the form. This means use curved lines. Add highlights. The side of the sphere that is facing the light source will be the brightest. Leave a small section of the circle unshaded to create a highlight. This will give the illusion of a shiny three-dimensional sphere. You can also use your eraser to bring back highlights if needed. Blend the shading. Using your finger or other blending tool, create a smooth transition from light to dark. This will make the sphere look more realistic. Apply the cast shadow. Lastly, shade in a cast shadow underneath the sphere to show how it interacts with the surface it's sitting on. Your sphere might not look exactly like mine. Drawing and shading a sphere may take some practice, but keep trying and experimenting. An additional page is provided in your lesson PDF to allow you to experiment with how shading a sphere would look with different light sources. Next, we're going to practice shading a cube. Draw the base of your cube. Make sure the lines are straight. Again, this step is already done for you in the PDF. Shade the cube. Decide where the light source is coming from. Shade one side of the cube that is facing away from the light. The side facing the light will be the brightest, while the shaded side will be darker. Use a pencil to create a gradual transition from light to dark, creating a three-dimensional effect. Add shadows. To make the cube look more realistic, add shadows underneath it. Imagine where the shadows would fall based on the direction of the light source. Shade those areas slightly darker than the shaded side of the cube. Blend and refine. Use your finger or blending tool to create a smooth transition between light and dark areas. You can also erase any unnecessary lines or mistakes to refine your drawing. Keep in mind that practice is key. Refer to your PDF for additional pages with even more practice. There are some additional pages in the PDF to help you learn how to draw and shade some other geometric forms, including a cone, cylinder, and pyramid. As we've observed, geometric forms blend mathematics with creativity. We've learned about the defining features of geometric forms and encountered various examples. Furthermore, we discovered how artists use these forms to bring structure and interest to their artworks. And by practicing drawing and shading spheres and cubes, we've gained new skills to appreciate the geometric forms that we see in art. Learning about geometric forms can be enjoyable and enriching. Allow them to add a fresh and edgy perspective to your visual experiences while you remember art is all around you.
Hey!